All right, now we're officially live.
Hello.
Greetings.
Oh, we look so cool. I love it.
I
love
know,
it.
right? Yes, this is what work, like all that hard work that made me go bald is for. This is what I have done with my life.
Nice.
I'm sad. All right, let's see. Just double checking, making sure everything is good and everything is funny looking. Everything is happy in stream, and we are good to go. So, greetings, people of the internet. I am the Expert Ninja, and with me are, as always, Belize Boy and our newest debut member, Vexed
Up world.
Hulk.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah. All right. So yes, this
I don't know
is
why I just copied Belize Boy.
Because he's very.
Why not? Why not copy me? Of all people. Come on.
Seriously. So yes, this is the Antiquated Nerd Podcast, brought to you by absolutely no one. Absolutely no one. Please sponsor us.
No. It's brought to you by us. By us. I like how I pointed at me, but I was supposed to do the whole circly thing. Oops.
Yeah. Brought to you by me. But I want to tell you that it's someone other than me because, that way I don't seem like a dick. Yeah, it's brought to you. Which, by the way, I am the producer, editor, writer, and every other production based thing. You guys are talent.
Seriously. Yeah, we're just a talent.
I give a little bit of voice talent. That's about it.
I mean, you did
if I could, I would just do some Celine Dion stuff to just represent, but I can't because I can't pull off. I couldn't even speak like her. So
yeah, you and Celine Dion, my God. But I mean, I will admit that you did make the logo. Wait, by the way, logo, and you did make the logo. You did make the intro that I just played. So that kind of makes me an asshole for saying all this.
I love the soundtrack on that intro. It just gets me so into it.
Yes. Oh, and actually, you know what? Since I'm going to bring this up, I've actually, because I know you used a sound loop thing that you grabbed from the internet. It's not technically original. I
have the license for it. It's totally fine.
I know.
Great.
I know you have it licensed, and
but if we're going to upgrade it, we can.
But here's where I'm getting at, because I have a thing here before we start, because technically I could say this is brought to you by a thing. I found in Humble Bundle, of all places, something called the Make a Sound Designer Loop Create Volume 2, which is this giant bundle of sound loops and software for using these sound loops and samples, as well as synthesizer software and specialized software for audio creation. I grabbed it, I paid for it, and I have started learning how to do it, and it is amazing. Then I went down a rabbit hole.
Oh no!
And now technically we are partnered with Humble Bundle. So guess what?
Oh, wow.
We are brought to you by Humble Bundle. And for all the people out there who want to, I'm going to do this through the browser to make life a little easier for me. And for all you people who wish to actually, be a part of it, I'm going to give you a link to said software. It is really cool. I find it really amazing, and if you do buy it, it will help not only support the viewership, or sorry, the viewership, support the creators of the software, Humble Bundle, and go to specific charities. Currently, I have it set to Child's Play, which charity of my choice, but we will also get a little bit of money as well, and a little bit of notoriety, and that'll help us be better streamers and better video creators, and help us do more and better things. So if you guys want to click that link and put in however much you want, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, thank you for listening in, and now we can actually get started on the actual podcast topic. Woo! Said a mouthful there.
Yatta, baby, yatta. All right. So, as pre-discussed, today's topic is going to be childhood favorite video games, whether it's something that was at the arcade or something that was on a console. As long as it's from the childhood, We made a limit to go up to about PS2 because everything else isn't 20 years old yet. So we still have a huge library of games to pick from. And there's no specific order, there's no specific year, age, or whatever. And that's pretty much what we're going with today. So does anyone want to start, or did you guys each pick one or two? I picked two.
Well, actually, I picked three just in case.
I also have three.
We probably won't have time for all of them. So
probably
whatever time we have left, we can just pick whatever.
All right. Well, I'll start with mine because mine will be actually probably the shortest ones to speak about. Because the first one I'm going to talk about is actually a Nintendo game, and this Nintendo game came out here under two different titles, but the one that it's mostly known as over here is called Solomon's Key or Solomon's Key. And Solomon's Key is essentially a puzzle game. And it's a puzzle game back in the day that actually resembles a lot games of today. It's something that was a little bit ahead of its time. The animation was superb. It's animation on a NES that very few people would be able to actually witness, and especially with the 2D sprite work that's being done today. I know you can't really see on the little pictures because everything from the NES resolution, if it's captured in the actual size, like you got to zoom in. But definitely something to check out. The sequel to the game is actually called Fire and Ice.
There we go.
Not to be confused with that movie Fire and Ice, which is a whole different ball game.
Or that book series of Fire and Ice, A Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah, definitely. So long story short on it, it's a puzzle game where you have a fixed amount of time, and depending on the levels, sometimes you have a fixed amount of moves. Things happen in real time. You're a little wizard, and this little wizard is so beautifully animated. And all you have is jump and your wizard stick, and your wizard stick will change the property of tiles on the floor. And you tap it, you can make stuff disappear, or you can make one reappear somewhere to go further. And that's pretty much the basics of the gameplay. And there's so many levels. There are so many levels that I've never beaten it. I'm ashamed because I actually come back to this game quite often. Maybe not necessarily on real hardware, but I do come back to it because it's such a fun game. And I always just get stuck at the same spot, sadly. Not that I can't figure it out, but because I get too impatient and the time goes by really fast when you're trying to think about a strategy and platforms are falling below you. So, but check it out. Solomon's Quest and Part 2, which is Fire and Ice, only released in Europe. So we didn't actually get that sequel. We got a different sequel called Solomon's Key 2, which is not exactly the same. So I guess technically the real Part 2 would be Part 3. But definitely something to check out on the good old NES. So I'll let the next person go for their game. I'll come back to my second game afterwards.
Right. How about you want to go? You go next, dude. I'll take the last.
All right. So my two games are not quite as old as that. The first game I want to talk about is going to be, which one did I want to talk about first?
See, this is why I have a list myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. All right, the first one that I want to talk about is Final Fantasy Tactics.
I knew it.
Oh yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite games. I've played countless hours on it. And the game itself is pretty easy. It's challenging at times, but the real challenge is when it came like years later. I was trying to find challenges to it because it does get boring after passing it 100 times. There's actually like a Reddit website Reddit a subreddit, sorry, that came up with different challenges. One of the first challenges was like just pass it solo with just Rams himself. And at first, it's really hard. The first couple levels are the hardest, and then you just pass it and pretty much pass the game all by yourself. You get to like level 99 easily. But yeah, afterwards you just play with like different set characters, like all squires or all chemists. Like all chemists was one of the hardest ones. The hardest one that I think only one person has ever achieved is the mathematician. And that's mostly because it's the slowest character in the game. They don't have any HP or armor or anything like that. But pretty much every other class you can just pass the game with just those basic skills.
Huh.
Hey man, you forgot to mention one of the coolest things. I'm just gonna jump in on this a bit. An amazing feat that Mr. Vexed Hulk here is the only person I know who has actually done this that I know personally. Is that one of the great features about the game is, as he explained, you can get multiple jobs, and the less people you have on the battlefield, the more experience points you can collect per person. And Mister over here used to enjoy letting his whole entire team basically die off and use the main character to literally punch his way to the end of the game.
Yeah.
What was that move that you always used? Was it some weird block, or you would crouch
It
and like
was dash.
there was the dash, but he had this move where your main character could concentrate his power
Oh,
or something.
accumulate.
Uh
You
yeah, he
use
would.
accumulate, and you just gain one power every time. And if you're fast enough, and you like run around all of your enemies, like you just use accumulate all the time. You could just basically one hit punch everybody.
It
But
was it was disgusting. It was disgusting, but I loved it. It's
it
just
was
fun to see
great.
him get to the end of the game. Only one character, and you're supposed to have like a team of like
Yeah, you
5 to
still have
10.
a team of 5.
And
But I
yeah, he
just
just
let
gets there and
everybody die.
ugh.
I either kick them out of my team or I let them die. And yeah, I just pass the game with just the basic character.
That's
Did I get all pixelied out? What
yeah.
happened?
For a while there,
A little bit, but not
you're
so
running
bad.
through like 6 different softwares. That's what's
Yeah.
happening. Like you can't do that, man.
It's all right. You
I
went retro.
Yeah, there we go. It's my retro filter.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're saying. That's what we're sticking to. All right, and so like what? Okay, so all right, so basically a tactics game. You make different jobs. You do different things. Running on the Final Fantasy lore, you can tell because
Yeah.
they're running on the Chocobo there. That was yeah. No, I remember playing the advanced version. I tried playing this so many times, but it
I
takes
tried playing
so much.
I tried playing the advanced version and I just never really got onto it.
Oh,
I just keep coming back to the PS1 one.
oh, of course, because that's your baby.
It's my go-to. Like I know it
Oh,
by heart. I love the storyline.
I think I disappeared.
I
Yep,
love
you're
I
gone,
I
dude.
love the jobs. Oh yeah, you're a ghost. You're
Oh,
gone.
it's fine. Keep on going.
I
We'll
like
get
the way you level up in
there.
your
You
jobs. I like I love all the different kinds of skills.
all right, yeah.
And
I put myself back in HD. I accidentally minimized the window and it made my video go low
oh, okay,
res.
that's better. Yeah,
Oops.
whenever I tried the advanced one, it just the basics are all the same. It's just that I'm so in love with that. I just keep going back to it. I just can't get into it to the advanced one.
Have you
Oh,
ever considered the very first tactic games on Super Nintendo, Ogre Battle Tactics?
Yeah, I also played that.
Oh, you
It's
did?
oh yeah, of course I did. It's good, but it's not the same.
All right, all right.
fair.
But yeah, it is a very good game though.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, I guess we'll come back to and talk a bit more. Like
Yeah, come back.
let's talk about my game, Evil Laugh, because I did a
Like,
Talking
lot of
wow.
about my
not-
game.
I did a lot of extra work on mine. That's why, on getting mine set up, and then I lose the freaking tab it's on. There it is, and we are going to get in there.
Oh, oh,
We're going to talk
there
about
you go.
Dungeon Hack. This was a fun game because this was Dungeon Hack. This was for DOS. This came out in I'm going to give you some fun facts and some information here. So this game came out for DOS. I played it on Windows 95. It came in a freeware bundle, and then I guess my brother found a way to steal it, and then found the book because this is one. Okay, I'm going a little ahead of myself here. So yeah, Windows 95. That's what I played it on. This is a fantasy dungeon crawler roguelike RPG, which
Ooh, all right. That's a
Yeah.
big category.
Yeah.
which is a hard thing. Which by the way, in 1993 was a big deal because you know what?
How did they get that?
Because here's the thing: in 1992, Rogue came out, which is the game that which is why they call them roguelikes. A little bit of factory there because they all imitate the same idea, where it's a procedurally generated dungeon with procedurally generated enemies on a completely random scale, so that you can have with enough differences that you can never have the same dungeon twice if you play the game a billion times. And honest to God, I think I did, and honest to God, I think it's true. Because so now again, there's several things I really love about this. Just to go into why I love it first off, and then I'll talk about synopsis and all that stuff. So first off, yes, replayability, but also because this was one of my major introductions to Dungeons and Dragons. I heard about it when I was a kid, and I was like, oh wow, D&D, I get to be a wizard. And then I saw this game, and I'm like, oh, this is what Dungeons and Dragons actually is. And the thing that really got to me is that it actually has a built-in character creator, and I was 90% sure that if I did things in a certain way, I could print out the character sheet that we got there and use that for a second edition game. And it was my mission to try to get that to happen. It was possible to print the maps because there was a print button in the map screen.
But was it one of those maps that wasted half your ink cartridge? Because it was bubble jet. It was bubble jet back then. Don't forget.
Yeah. No, it probably was. It was more than likely one of those situations. Then again, at the same time, I was 10, so
it's true.
Actually, no,
you didn't care. Your parents paid for it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I always forget. Even when we think back, we didn't have the same mentality as we do now.
Yeah, so
damn, I don't want to waste all that ink.
It didn't
who
matter
cares?
how
Mom
much
pays for it.
It wasn't a matter of how much it cost. It was a matter of how much I could use at the time before my dad got mad at me. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
And honestly, man. But anyways, you could print the map. You could make it. I was pretty sure you could actually make the character sheets. It was super cool for that. And then you have inventory management. You have all these different weapons and armor, and you can learn different spells. And the spells work the same in actual D&D, where you can only use so many a day. And then
were the bad guys in the dungeons and stuff animated, or was it just? Okay.
They were animated.
Yeah, they had a 3-step animation constantly, and then when they would attack, they would do some kind of attack motion where that orc there would just he would swing, and if you got hit, you would see blood splatter on your character sheet, and then you'd lose health. If you hit him, he would flash, and then
would this be around the same time that we got those early versions of Baldur's Gate, which I believe was in the same style, dungeon crawler?
Oh hell, Baldur's Gate? No, Baldur's Gate came out later than that. That was in the almost 2000.
Oh snap! All right,
yeah,
never mind.
Dude, this was in the age of DOS.
Maybe I'm thinking of Eye of Eye of the Beholder or something?
Yes, Eye of the Beholder. When I was researching this game, Eye of the Beholder came up a lot of times. People said that this was based off of it. But
Oh, that's why. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking of then.
and yeah, so it played and like yes, it plays so well. Yeah, so bit of a synopsis of what this game is. You are an adventurer tasked by an evil sorceress to go into a dungeon and get a crystal. Your prize is all the loot you can carry while traveling down the dungeon, and that was literally it. You had that little opening thing where the sexy looking witch woman is floating in front of you and says like, "Go and do this thing," and then he's like, "But what about me?" Well, like, "What will I get from it?" Like, "You will have all the treasures inside," and then she just teleports you in front of it. It's like, then you're like, "Why not?" And you walk in, and then like screen comes up.
Sounds like that sounds a bit like those crappy moves in Link's Awakening, where you go into the houses and you have always a witch or something in one of the houses. Either you couldn't get in, or they would grant you passage and tell you about great treasures, and
Yep.
not make you really do anything for it. Sometimes it was
No.
just
What it really felt like to me was when my brother would run the games, because when you're like it, to me it sounded like how 10-year-olds would run a game, because that's literally what it is. Like, the evil wizard tells you to do a thing. If you do it, you get treasures. If not, you die right then and there. Because honestly, how else are we going to play the game if you're not going to do the thing I'm making you do? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, nope, I'm not gonna do it.
It's like,
All right,
yeah.
so what do we do?
Exactly. And so, and like, yeah, and there's just different things to it. Like, if you play a rogue, you get so if you play a rogue, you get like the thieves toolkit, and the thieves toolkit lets you go through doors without having to find keys. Wizards have spells. Warriors are just stronger and have more health,
Yeah,
and all that
yeah.
stuff. And the one thing I didn't know about, one of the things that
Uh-oh.
bothered me back in the day, is that so, and this is one of the first games I ever see that actually had. So if you look at the picture, and I'm going to explain to people who can't see it, in the game under the HP is a food bar, and as you travel the dungeon, the food bar goes down.
Zoom in some more, man. Zoom in some more.
Tell me a
All
little
right,
bit more.
all right. Zooming in some more. Food bar.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F11. F11. It would give us more screen space.
There you go. More,
Oh, you
because
can see it.
more.
Full screen, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yes, you have the food bar, and the food bar there goes down as you run around, and if you rest, it goes down a lot faster.
Wait, if you rest, it goes down faster?
Yes, because if you stop to rest every time you want to top up your HP or get a spell, it goes down. And once it reaches 0, you can't cast spells. Your attacks are much more weak.
Wow.
You can't rest, and you have to eat. That means there's food,
Wow.
but you come packed with. If you look at the top left corner there, for people to see, you get a couple of food rations right off the bat, and you can find them throughout the dungeon, and so you have a food supply. Now, fun fact, I didn't know that, and I didn't know how to eat. Because, okay, wild guess. From what you see on the screen, how are you supposed to eat?
Drag and drop food elements into your face inventory. Like, there's a face slot, put food in it.
No, not. Okay, wait. Are you saying like put it in that little square, like that's kind of pointing towards his face?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's for your helmet.
Well, you can defend yourself with food, and instead of the food getting destroyed, you eat it.
Yeah, and so
Or you swap the food with your sword, so instead of slashing enemies with it, you just hit yourself with the food.
Well, what he's essentially saying is that if you run out of food bar, you are foobarred. Yeah.
More ha ha! Cheesy. But I don't know. Here's the ultimate in stupidity. So you're somewhat right about it goes on the face, but it doesn't go on that little item part on the face. No, you have to hover it over the face part of that overlay thing, and then let go, and that'll fill your food bar. You basically have to
Close.
It's a mystery place to put the food. I mean, maybe it was like one of those ways to have a bit of DRM, because if you have the face thing, like if you don't know how to do it, you run out of food, you die. and it's such a weird, obscure way
So
to
you
do,
never got very far in the game.
unless you knew exactly how to do it. And the only way you find out is if you read the instruction manual, and the only way you can get the instruction manual is if you buy the game where that had it come with it.
Well, a lot of computer, I guess, computer game companies back then, that was one of their main anti-copy things, was just writing specific things in there. So I guess they
Yeah,
won that round.
yeah. But then again, they also already had one already where
Oh,
once you get past the first dungeon,
yeah.
it's gonna ask you for 3 words from 3 different passages of a very very big book that
Oh
came
no.
with it. It was basically a very shitty fantasy novel that
I
you
think Sierra did that on a couple of their games too,
yeah, they did. I think they did that on the space
M-
quests or
or the
the
Monkey
quests.
Islands, maybe.
I don't know,
Wait,
but
did Sierra do Monkey Island? I can't remember now.
LucasArts did Monkey Island.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so it was actually a thing where like I was like, because here's the thing. Also, 10-year-old me, I didn't want to read the giant ass book to try to find the words.
Of course not.
Like, how am I supposed to think? How am I supposed to figure out like page 365, like paragraph 4, word 97?
Well, that's why you gotta learn to count early.
Yeah, that was the lazy little shit.
Whatever all your
Oh,
teachers told you, it's true. You need math. You need math.
That otherwise you can't play your video games because of the weird way they do
true.
DRM.
Yeah.
That's how I learned
Although,
that.
to be fair, I never finished math, and I use a heck of a lot of math now.
And I
It's
did.
funny. As we get older, we just use math automatically. It's like I'm automatically better in math than when I was in school.
Oh
and
yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
I didn't, I had to learn. I was in advanced classes for math. I was apparently taught 99 percentile for all that shit, and
Oh
I
wow.
don't use math ever, with the exception of 2 + 2 = Q.
I don't think
um,
that's the equation,
no,
really.
it is when you're dealing with bad customers, and
Oh,
we'll have
yeah.
that conversation one day. Um, so yeah, okay, so yeah, so just a couple things I want to also go about. Uh, like I said, love the replayability. It was so amazing for back in the day. Like the different, like there are things that they do now you still don't see that this game, like they don't do things that now that this game did that they should do now. Though the only real bad thing about it, looking back, is the controls.
Put the light back on, Chris. Put the light back on.
Why is
Uh,
it that bad?
Wow.
oh wow, you are
Oh
so
wow.
see through.
You
You
went green, Mr. Vexed Hulk. You went green.
Maybe
Or
I'm just
are
angry.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's perfect again.
oh yeah,
There we go.
now you look good. All right, good. So
I was like, he's slowly fading. We're losing him, boys.
he's dying on us. R2. I wasn't fast enough. Whoa, what the hell happened there? We lost. Sorry, I'm just looking at our viewer count, and we went from 5 to 0 and to 4 in a matter of seconds. Did we get hit for something?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it just natural went up and down.
I trust nothing. That's just how I am these days.
Well, I mean, I shared, so there's a probability that some people came in, check it, and then unchecked it.
All right, no,
Yeah, maybe.
okay, it corrected itself. Okay, all right, it's like no, that was a lie. All right.
Ooh, visitor server lag.
Yeah. So yeah, so the only really bad thing about this game, the one thing that I cannot stand it now, is the way the keyboard works, or like the way the game actually works for keyboard. So let's just kind of move over to So this is a very mouse intense game. You're supposed to use the mouse for everything because mouse. Uh,
People had keyboards back then.
yes, but but here's the
Yeah,
thing:
but
you don't use
the mouse was a brand new thing back then.
and it wanted you to use it.
Yeah.
What ended up happening though is it didn't work with the arrow keys. If you use the arrow keys, you basically slid left, right, and forward. If you wanted to turn, you had to use the number pad because back in the day, the number pad was the expected usage.
Yeah.
But because it's such a mouse heavy game, you had to like run the number pad with your left hand. So like instead of doing the standard nah, like you're 10 and 2, you're like and it's so weird. Like
You're hurting my imagination. You're just hurting my imagination.
Because WASD didn't
I'm
exist back then.
I am imagining that right now, and that's just as
It's
I can
really
feel the
uncomfortable.
You can
yes,
feel, yeah,
the level.
you feel the discomfort.
You have to push your keyboard aside, just to have
Yeah.
space for your mouse
Yeah,
and hand
So
together.
just and just me being the messy shit that I am, like I just imagine like I just start pushing my keyboard, you just hear like all the crap fall off the side of my desk as I'm just trying to making room. It's like crunch.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, but honestly, if they remade this game for like like didn't do anything, they just revamped it, made it a little bit nicer for controls, maybe a bit of a graphical upgrade. Yeah, I think it would actually be maybe not a AAA game, but it would be like up there with any indie title out there now.
It'd be a decent indie game.
Yeah, it like a low cost, simple game, a very functional game that I would highly recommend for anyone. And actually, I would still say, like, you know what? If you just want to pick it up, go for it. It's
Sorry.
fun. What?
No. I coughed. I was like, sorry.
Oh, I totally
Oh,
didn't
we
hear
didn't
it.
hear it. It's cool.
Had you not
shouldn't
said
have
anything.
How dare you?
Seriously, dude. We judge you harshly. Oh, and one more thing to point out, because when I was looking for this, I found this. If you go, it's currently, right now, it is actually still for sale, purchasable through Good Old Games or GOG.
Yeah.
Currently, okay, so current price at $7.97 Canadian, but currently on sale, and I think it's like $1.75 right now. So,
Oh, wow.
and so
I think someone's prepping himself to go for a childhood playthrough. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think you're right. I think this is going to be something I'm going to do later. Oh, hashtag someone can podcast with me. So someone stream with me so I can do this. So there we go. Go here, then go here. So to anyone who's currently looking, if you want to check it out, here is the link in the chat is the link for goodoldgames.com/Forgotten Realm. Well, this Forgotten Realms packs, you get a couple of other games with it, but really you buy for Dungeon Hack and like for $2, man. Seriously, $2 Canadian.
So it's a
Like
bundle.
$1.50.
Yeah,
American.
like it's cheap is what it is, and it's actually a fun game just to shit around with for like a few hours. Like you'll think you're just gonna play for a few hours. Like, this is good enough. With the exception of that keyboard mangle thing, which I haven't played the good old game version yet. Maybe they fixed it because that's what they do. They actually take these games. They don't just create a DOS box for. They go in. They buy these games. They buy the rights to these games. Go in, fix them to the point where they are usable again, and then bring them out to play. So they may even fix it a bit. But I recommend give it a look. All right, so okay, so I think that's my whole spiel. If the rest of you want to,
That's all right. That's all right.
Right.
That is passion for you, baby. That is passion.
That's showing your passion for the game.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right. So I guess I'll jump in on my second game. I had originally planned to talk about an arcade game, but then I realized there's another NES game that took over most of my childhood, and again, still to this day, way more than this other game I was going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about Galaxy 5000 on the NES.
Galaxy 5000, eh?
Yeah, it's a 3/4 down view isolated racer that takes place in space. Everyone is aliens. It's a bit a la Mario Kart, a la Destruction Derby. Essentially, you race around a track again with that 3/4 down isolated view, and You pick up power-ups on the track, you shoot up other cars, and you destroy them. With every race that you win, whether it's first, second, or third place, you're rewarded with money. You can upgrade your vehicles, or I should say spaceships, not really vehicles, but spaceships. And you can upgrade the armor, the weapon strength, everything. And the further you go along, the more the computer actually catches up to you in terms of upgrades. And they get real tough, because here's the part that I really always loved about it. They have a little smidget, a little pinch of reality in there, that when you take damage, you don't die. Your armor blows up and you lose all your upgrades slowly. So you can start off with the most powerful, beefed up weapon, and the enemies just shoot grenades at you and lasers, and you're like, no, I'm good. I can take it. Up until the point that boom, you lose your whole upgrade. But you're like, no. I'm still good. I got my other one, which is faster, and then boom, and they blow that off you. And then it's so hard to try and stay on top, because when you lose an upgrade, you lose the upgrade. Then you got to race all over again. And you can't redo tracks. You're continuously going forward. So you have to stay on top at all times. You can play 2 players, which is also great. It's not split screen, but everyone follows each other. And if player 2 can't keep up with you, boop, they just bounce him forward so he can try and keep up with everyone on the team and stay on the screen. But he takes damage with that too. So if you fall behind too many times as the second player, boom, death. It's sort of a bit in the same style as RC Pro AM. I'm pretty sure most people have played that also. Another great thing about it is that the soundtrack, oh, it's so rocking, man. It's just a NES game, but it's so rocking. And the sound samples, oh, some of the most clearest sound samples you will ever hear in a NES game, next to maybe Blades of Steel, which was always great. Blades of Steel. Or I don't know if you guys have ever played the Three Stooges, but the intro, it's like a whole animated and voiced cutscene on real NES hardware. And I'm surprised that didn't just take up all the memory on that 4 chip. It's just, oh man. But yeah, so back to the game. So it's a tournament style racer as well, and it'll break your thumb. It'll break your thumb because you have your thumb and you have to just rotate around that poor little D-pad because you're continuously going in circles. But it's elevated circles with different levels. So you're jumping and all this, but your thumb is always doing that same round motion. And oh my god, it's Blister City. It's Blister City. Actually, it's not even this one because this would be your fire and jump. So it would be this one, just going around the map. And also, I forgot to mention, the map itself is very hazardous because there's spikes that are coming up at all times. And sometimes you don't realize it because your vehicles, they can all jump. They can all jump, which is like super cool. So you can jump over gaps and take shortcuts. But sometimes those shortcuts have spikes coming up as well. So you'll jump over a car, over a gap, and you're like, yeah, you got some Dukes of Hazzard feelings going on. Yeah. And then bam, onto the spike. Spike gives you damage. You make that little sound. You fall off the track. And then, of course, your shortcut did not pay off. But all these things are like that all over. I had good, frustrating times. Even to this day, it's frustratingly good. You just want to throw your controller or your keyboard at this point, since I don't really play the NES games too much on. Man, actually, you know what? That's really odd. I play all today's games on controllers, but I play my classic NES games with the keyboard. How about that for weird? How about that for weird?
Strange.
It is strange. Especially
And
since, like, Are
Yeah,
you a
I know, right?
pirate?
It's because the controls are smoother and I can keep my arms and hands apart. So, it's just easier to just than being so close. And I can use these fingers for the arrows rather than just wearing out my poor baby thumb. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Just
true.
just wear it out
So
on there.
use your fingers instead of your thumb.
Yeah, and I mean most keyboards now are pressure sensitive, so it's just you don't even have to go hard. You
Yeah.
don't even have to go hard. And
Ladies.
He said.
that's essentially pretty much the whole game in a nutshell, and the reason why I like it. And anyone who would actually play it today would be up for a challenge. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have a lot of fun, especially if you just simply introduced an online community to it, where you could take on other players in the tournament. It would be so much fun. If you guys don't have the game, I suggest maybe get the game. That's all I'm saying. Just get the game and you'll love it. And you'll love it. And then
eBay.
boom, that is my game, Galaxy 5000. I'm done, so you're up.
It's over 5,000. All right.
All right, so I'm just gonna pick between my two other games. Which one?
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna pick the one that not many people know about. I'm gonna
Oh.
go with a game called Dark Ages. It's not on. It wasn't on console. It's not an arcade game, but it is.
I think they actually had a port of Dark Ages on the original PlayStation.
No, it's not the same game. This
Oh,
is
okay then.
the one of the first, if not the first, MMO RPGs.
I have something
It's
to
called
that.
Dark.
I have something on that, but we'll talk about that another day.
Okay.
Nope, 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 nope.
Hi guys, this is Omer.
No, no, no.
Well,
Don't
yeah.
don't let him go. Continue.
Feel free to cut me off. I could be wrong.
No.
This is just what I've read up on it. What I've
Okay,
been
so
told by other people.
all I will say is mud.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Muds exist. Oh wait, that's not it. Like I'm trying to find. Okay, I'm gonna pull from the images you gave because yeah, it is an obscure game. Because
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, you start off as a peasant.
Zoom in.
I'm trying.
Nope,
It won't. It won't
Oh.
zoom. Hold on.
It won't
Let's see.
zoom more than that. Oh.
Let's try this one.
Mouse
Okay.
wheel control.
Okay, that zooms in a bit more. All right, so basically, this is an MMO RPG. Really retro looks. It's came out in 1999, and it's still playable today. Still,
Oh my
a lot
God.
of people play
Really?
today.
Is
Yep.
this not the game that just recently went offline and it hit the media where people have been playing for like the last 25 years
Oh,
almost?
it went offline.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
I
so.
Wow. Do
I
your
played
research.
it the last month or so.
Oh, okay, then it's not the same. One of them went
Oh.
offline and it looked just like this, where people showed up and all their characters were holding candles for the very final moments before the server went down. It went
Oh, wow.
crazy all over the media and everything. All right. Anyway,
It
sorry.
might
Go
be.
on.
Anyways, so I started playing this game, but when like MMOs started being popular, you start off as a peasant, and you have to choose a class. And back then, when you were looking for a class, you actually had to find a guide of somebody that was already that class to teach you to be a mentor. So you went through all these questions and all that, and finally you have to decide: do you really want to be a warrior? You say yes. Then you become a warrior. You get a couple skills, and your mentor still has to like buy you your first armor, like your first sword and stuff. Then you can start off and go into like little dungeons and try to level up little by little. Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. I
And
started looking for it.
it's a very diverse world. There's multiple cities, multiple
Oh,
dungeons.
that's cool actually.
The coolest thing, like it's very team oriented. Like say you're a warrior, you can't just hunt alone all the time. It's going to take you forever. So you have to have like a team of a priest that can heal you, uh, another fellow warrior to help do more damage, um, a wizard to weaken the enemies for you. The only class that can really like solo the game all by themselves are rogues because they lay down traps. So you put down a trap and you turn yourself invisible and you can kill the enemies.
Oh, that's such a dick move, man.
That is the only class of heroes that can do things by itself. But
What?
even
I would
later
have figured at least
later
maybe
in the game you
rangers
still
or
need a
something.
team of like 5 people.
Jeez.
By the gods.
So it's very like you have 5 basic classes. But the coolest thing about this game is that after you've reached the maximum level, which is 99, you can restart. Like you can, well, there's a whole bunch of steps to go through. You restart at level 1 as a brand new class, and you keep all of those. So say you start off as a warrior, you get all your warrior skills, which are like a whole bunch of hitting things, and say, I want to like hit more. So you become a monk. So you seek out a monk to like guide you, and you start off as level 1, but you still have all your warrior skills. So you're punching them.
Oh, I get it.
You're
Okay.
punching them with your fists, but it's acting like you're slashing them with a sword. Or
So
you,
does that mean that you can actively change classes once you've redone and leveled up in different, I
only
guess,
once.
classes? Oh,
You
only
can only do
once.
it once. Once you reach level
Oh,
99 the first time, you can
yeah.
restart once at level 1. And
All right.
say
Oh,
you
and
want to
then
go the opposite route. Say you
yeah.
want to you start off as a priest, all you've been doing your whole time as leveling up, you've just been healing people mostly. Well, now I want to
So
hit some people. You can become a warrior and start hitting people and still be able to heal yourself as you're fighting.
so does that mean that you can wear armor for both classes still if you retain your stats from your previous class?
No, once you change classes, you can only wear your new class's armor.
Ah, ooh.
Okay.
That is the unfortunate thing. But also, if you start off as a priest and you want to go warrior, you don't want to wear priest armor.
I think
'Cause
Tech added
priest armor,
a nice white stripe effect
I,
to his side.
no, it's
yeah.
it's it's called my fucking green screen is too small, and my automatic
Oh,
zoom function is just angry at me. That's what
Yeah,
it's
that
called.
is the Dark Ages website. There's a lot of fan websites, community websites you can see on that site. There's links
Yeah.
there.
And
Yeah, all you
okay,
have to do is
and
go to darkages.com. It used to be a paying game, sort of like World of Warcraft. I think it used to be like $10 an hour.
an
hour?
hour?
Not now, sorry, $10 a month.
Holy crap. I was like, yo, back in
Oh
1999, you
yeah,
had to be like rolling,
had to be
man.
rich.
Oh my god.
Seriously,
Can
dude.
I
But
That
can I play that? All right, but 1 hour, that's it.
1 hour. That's it. I
okay,
only got
okay,
$10 for you.
okay, but keep also in mind that it's still the deal because also back in the day when you played MUDs, you played any game online, you still had to be connected to an internet that worked
That's
by the
true.
minute. Because remember back when
That's very true.
you had to pay like a dime a minute to be on the phone, and being
Yeah.
on the internet meant you to be on the phone. Yes, young people,
Yep.
the internet. The
That's
internet used to
true.
be on the phone. You used to use phone lines. That noise you hear sometimes when people talk about like the dark times, the
You heard that every day.
I still remember before we got high speed internet when some modems their selling point was that you could be on the internet and still take a phone call. And
Yeah.
hey,
Mr. Vexed over here actually had one of those, but it was on the slowest modem of them all. I think it
Slowest.
was your 14K modem, right?
No, I didn't have a
oh,
14K, but when everybody started having the 54K, I had a 33.3K.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's it.
oh,
And it was an
33.
external modem because the
yeah,
modem that was included when I bought my
yeah.
computer was very faulty.
But
okay.
there would be a message that would pop up on your screen. Hi, someone's trying to call you. You want to take the call? I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Well, it's because our phone company was Bell, and they had some simpatico. Was that what it was?
Oh my god, was it
So anyways-
that was the high speed service.
yeah, simpatico.
Oh.
I remember simpatico. I remember
So
that was
yeah,
a thing.
so simpatico would just show up, and I would have to click on take call, and it would disconnect me.
Yep. And oh my god,
That was before the time I could actually like stay on the internet while a phone call.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
never like the cool friends who would use their parents' fax line to play all their games.
oh yeah. Oh my no, here's my favorite thing. Here's my favorite thing. Just keep in mind to all the young people who may or may not be watching, anyone under the age of 30 who's thinking what like clearly they mean BMB. No. KB. 36K modem. When you're
Yeah.
running at that means kilobyte. That means
Kilobyte, yeah.
1/1000th of a megabyte. So when
Even
you're
worse, it's kilo. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, it was
I was
kilo.
wasn't it kilobits though?
no. They switched to megabits when they started trying to sell high speed internet, like in the megabyte range, because they wanted because it was like when it was running at like 800 kilobytes a second, you could say it runs at a megabit a second because that's what a megabit is.
All right. That makes legit.
Yeah, so yeah, that's all. Like the B thing, the small B thing was just a stupid ploy they put in. It never, the internet does not register in bits. It doesn't need to register
No.
in bits. So yeah, screw you, like Rogers, Bell, AT&T, Comcast, Cogeco, all you guys, you're liars. You know you're liars.
I never had to deal personally with AT&T because they were pretty big here. But man, those free hours on those CDs.
Oh, AOL. I love
Yeah.
AOL. Oh,
I had so many AOL accounts.
Yeah, that's how you do it. First few hours
Yeah.
are free, and then you have to pay. But no, because you had like 60 CDs.
Oh, we kept getting free CDs with like 300 hours on them.
Yeah,
So for the first year or so, I never had to pay for internet.
yeah. Oh, you just loaded up a new CD, a new account. Boom, you're good.
Exactly.
My God, this shit was the internet 20 years ago, guys. This was shit 20 years ago. We are
That's
so
how we pirated the internet. We made new accounts. That's all we had to do.
We are so spoiled now. It's not even funny. Oh, compared to how it was that long ago, and now we complain. Oh, this is going to take This 2 gigabyte file is going to take 20 minutes. Oh, pox upon your land! No, not anymore.
Yeah.
No, back in the day, we downloaded our porn one picture at a time, and we waited for that freaking thing to scroll down.
I was gonna say, yeah, you know how TVs work with scan lines? Well, that's how the picture downloaded. One line. Yeah. It was like watching something get printed in slow motion on your screen. Just,
It was horrible. Oh my God, the good old days.
Multi-tabbing did not exist back then. You couldn't have multiple tabs.
You couldn't have multiple
full on extra windows. Like
no,
even then. Oh, and pop-ups, like when pop-ups became a thing. My God. Okay, you know what?
Those were terrible.
That's a topic for another week. We'll put that on.
Definitely.
We'll put that on the file.
Yeah.
We've just done a preview of one of our future topics where we just complain about how old we are and how nice the internet is now compared to like 20 years ago. All right, so back to topic. So yes, Dark Ages. I put the link in the game if you guys want to check it out, in the chat. And I might check that out.
Right now it's free. Right now it's free. It's an excellent game. I played it last month or so.
So everybody who plays, be sure to friend request Vexed Hulk. That is your name in the game, right?
No, it's not.
The deceit.
Send me a DM. I want to, so I can have a mentor to show me the ropes in this game that I might play maybe if I feel like it.
He will teach you
Will
kung
do.
fu.
Yes. Oh, also, just
I will
okay,
show you the ways.
if we're just talking about insanely old games, so the first, I'm going to talk about this right now because actually I know people who are in this. This might help them. There are ancient games out there called MUDs or multi-user dungeons. These were text-based MMORPGs, and they still exist today, and they still run on a subscription. One
They
that
still run on a subscription? Are you serious?
yes, and they are still lucrative. They still make money off that
How?
shit because apparently there are people in their mid 40s who have been playing this thing for the last 30 years who just fucking love it. And they don't just you don't just pay a monthly
What?
fee. There's a shit ton of, believe it or not, for just to have those extra words on it, cosmetic items. And
Oh, wait a
you pay
minute.
extra for that.
Is it because not that the game you have to pay for, but because you have to pay for the private server to keep the old game running?
I guess. No, it's a subscription-based game, and it's still running on the old server. Well, it's on new servers now, but it's still running on the same code, same servers, same everything that the company ran.
So like
back
what?
when
Do
AOL was
you
a thing.
do you have to run DOSBox to like get it
Nope.
going or something?
No, you have there is a Windows-based client that runs the software, and then they have supplementary software that allows.
What?
They have supplementary software on top of that, so that whatever's being written can have a physical representation of it, but it's either like simple art or ASCII.
Oh,
Wow.
ASCII.
Yeah,
What a
and
beautiful thing.
yeah. So look it up, Gemstone 4. It's out there. It's still a very amazing game. It is very, very it is very in depth. Like if you are willing to read through all the shit, like you were talking about with Dark Ages, it is not a simple game to play. It has so many things that you have to do. You have to make sure, you have to always have people with you who can do healing, special skills, and you have to make sure you have a good amount of silver on you. And if you don't know what you're doing, you will get lost easily. I think I've had a false start on that game like 4 times because I'm just like, what? Good time.
Oh, wait. So it's if it's 100. Oh my God. That just reminded me. I think I did play something similar on. I don't remember if it was an uncle or my uncle's neighbor, but I do remember playing a few text-based games, which was so annoying because like I didn't know about actions, and they're like, you have to click about use key, open door. Like, are you serious? You gotta type that? Like, you really had to think about analyze this or that, or use the magnifying glass on windowsill. You had to be pretty specific. There was leeway, but oh my God.
You have to use
And
your
people do
hands.
that online
It's a baby
MMORPG style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. Uses elixir to heal group. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, or you say attack rat, kick rat, punch rat, pick up rat, collect loot
Rat.
from rat, rat in the butt. No,
Collect meat. Like, oh my God.
yeah, no, actually, there is a thing where you have to skin rat. Do you think you have to run through the cycle of things you have to do to get it to work? It was a whole thing.
Wow.
I remember that. Yes, I played it a few times. I managed to get a few levels in with the person I was playing with, and it was it was an experience and a half, really. Like Jesus, man, good times though. Artwork for for a mud. You're just gonna see a screen that just says a whole bunch of stuff. Did we lose?
Yeah, we're definitely streaming too much power right now. 3 people in one room, one
So
connection.
much
No,
power.
I'm getting a you are not running. You are not. Okay, so never mind. It's working.
Everything's back. We're good.
Okay, we're good. Okay,
We're too powerful. Maybe we're running off of 54K for a second.
Oh my God. Could you even imagine?
Doing this on a 54K?
Streaming on? Oh no, man. I could not imagine that at
No.
all.
Like I don't know.
Nope.
I think I read somewhere you're not actually supposed to put links for games or anything like in a chat, but at the same
Oh,
time, like
really?
but I don't know if it's true, and I'm just putting caution to the wind right now.
Oh, okay.
Well, I
But
know you can leave them in the description, as they always say, in the description
That's
yeah,
true.
below.
but like I'm not gonna put it in the description. Like we already have.
Because
Like I'm gonna put them in
I
there after the fact, as well as some like links to other things. But that's gonna be it. All right.
Yep.
X changes color a lot. Do you are you like in like the pocket Earth or something where the sun just rises like
I'm a
20 times
straight
a day?
shifter. I'm one of those reptilians, okay?
He goes orange and then he changes color and he comes back to orange. What's with the orange, man?
It just depends what color my screen is
Why is your screen changing color, man?
because I'm watching the YouTube, and depending what picture's on there, it
You
makes
look like
more or less
YouTube.
light.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, that's one of the best. Oh man, if there was anything to give Doom a run for its money. It is revered as one of the best Star Wars games ever.
Seems okay.
It's telling you your bit rate is too high. I don't know. We're all gonna turn into like angry video game nerds at this point. Why? But more with like Seinfeld voices. What are you trying to tell me? Why? Damn. Mm. Not was, is still revered among fans. Uh 23, 24, 24. But you needed that back then. CD-ROM media, baby. You needed
Can I
that.
just cut you off just for a second? Apparently on YouTube we cannot hear anything Tech's saying.
What?
Yeah, just you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, actually, you're right. I just put the volume up on the YouTube stream, and
Yeah. When we first started, it was working fine.
actually, now that I'm speaking and watching the delay on the video, I'm not making any sound either.
Yeah, you are. We can hear you.
Oh no, there it is. There it is. It was a it 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 was a good okay. There was a nice big chunky delay. There we go. Now I can hear myself.
All right, so
Yeah.
okay, so I got to use my. I'm gonna have to go unfiltered for now until I can figure out why it's doing that, which means I got to turn off my fan.
Ooh, unfiltered and raw, baby. Just how we like it. Eddie Murphy style.
Okay. It's fine now.
Yeah, but now you can hear everything. It's so
Now we can
loud.
hear you. No problem.
Okay.
What is here everything?
Oh my god! So how much of me have you guys not heard? Like how much do I have to backtrack here?
I have no idea.
I don't have a clue why I didn't know. It was thanks to one of our viewers. Thank you. Happy Go viewer.
Wait, I don't see the viewer's name. Where does the chat say the name?
She's in the room, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, so what? Your wife told you?
Yeah, exactly. My wife was watching and it's like it's at least a solid 5 minutes.
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna start from the beginning. Go back, guys. Pretend to be surprised by his
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Night, red eye night. Our stars.
Sure.
Okay, I think
with that.
okay. I think we're back enough. Thank you for that. So yes, facts about Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Released in 1997, played on Windows 95, it is a first-person, third-person sci-fi game. Currently priced at Google Games for $7.29, but I believe it's also on sale, so go get it now, ladies and gentlemen. Now for the synopsis. Taking place just after the events of the Return of the Jedi, about 5 years or so, you play as Kyle Katarn, a merc for the New Republic who's on a quest to find his father. During the events of the game, he learns of his connection to the Jedi and learns the ways of the Force, moving towards either the light or dark side, depending on the player's actions. Using these abilities, you fight through waves of leftover Imperial forces and engage against Dark Jedi, what they called Sith before Sith, because Sith came a little bit later, in order to save the last of the Jedi temples from utter destruction. So, and yes, so again, whole thing to that. It was the Star Wars game. It ran with amazing, amazing at the time graphics, and it was very FMV. All the story parts, pure FMV, and it's that. And just think of like Command and Conquer levels of bad acting. That's what you got from it. It was the hammiest shit ever. I say that with a
man. Remember when DOS was top of the line gameplay? They're like, yeah, nothing can compete with DOS.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing will ever surpass it.
You know what I mean? FMV, like full motion video, right? Like,
of course,
okay,
of course.
Good. For those who don't know, full motion video is when they actually had actors play parts in the game as if it was a little movie. That's
and about a good 95% of FMV games were just. You think B movies are bad today?
Oh Oof. Yes, they were utter garbage. Yeah. And I can't show you anything, but I'm sure you go to any site that shows this game, it will show you a few of the FMVs. Just watch the guy in the front. Just watch the actor just eat every scene. Just chews on the scene on the scenery. It is just so bad in a good way. I highly recommend it. So yeah, this game did so many amazing things for the time. It was like one of the first, if not the first game that had the whole you do good, you get good, like you go good or you go bad, you do good things or evil things, and that way you'll be able to be a better, you'll be able to words. Like learn light side powers.
Mouth words.
Either do the light side or become like a dark Jedi. And so like if you're a light side, you get healing and force fields. If you're a dark side Jedi, you get to choke bitches out or like shoot lightning out of your hands. And like they both, and each side had different endings and like different stories once you reach a certain point, which was really really cool. Good times. And then we have and then of course you had Broken Brain again. And then just with that, like to me, okay, we'll start again because I'm getting a little ahead of myself with everything. So for me, one of the big things about this game, one of the most important things about this game, was the fact that it started out as a first-person shooter. You played it as a first-person shooter, and up until a certain point, you actually end up getting all the guns you really need. Like you get the sniper thing, you get the grenade launcher, you get the machine gun, you get the stronger single-hit gun, you get all those guns. And then comes a certain point where you get a lightsaber. And then you have a lightsaber. And that's it. Then you have a lightsaber. Like, and you can use the other guns.
Oh, really? Oh, you once you get the saber, it's just the saber?
No, you can play with the other guns. You can still can use the other guns.
But who wants to?
Exactly. Who wants to? Who wants to use the other guns when you have the better option of holding a fucking lightsaber? Which you didn't have that. The
one thing that this game deserves the most credit for, in my opinion, is giving the stormtroopers aim. They can actually hit you with the laser gun.
That is a mistake they made in that game. They should never hit you because they never hit anybody in the movies.
Okay, all right. So no, I'm going to fight you there.
They do hit.
I'm going to fight you on that one because that whole bullshit thing came from the first movie. Only in the first movie did they not hit anything. In Empire, they wiped out so many of the rebels. And like in Jedi, same deal. Leia got shot. She had plot armor and she still got shot.
I think it's because they weren't aiming. That's why they actually hit her. That's all. It was an accidental shot.
In Episode 4, A New Hope, when Luke is just standing there and he's just killing a bunch of stormtroopers, like while standing there, like no. Like when that was happening, the idea was that those stormtroopers were ordered to die. They were ordered to shoot everywhere but at them. The idea is that, like they even said it, the ease of our escape. You call that easy? Yeah. The fact is that they let them go, so that when the Millennium Falcon got to the Rebel base, the Death Star could follow them and then blow up Yavin, which is how they ended up just showing up there. Like, what other point were they missing? Like, were they shooting and missing?
They're really bad at aiming.
Like,
they didn't have proper training.
At what other point was that happening, though? And with the exception of that scene in The Mandalorian, because that was just an homage to the whole joke. Which, by the way,
I know that was amazing. That was what's his name from SNL? I can't remember his name right now. I'll remember some other stream or one of us can like Google it.
Yeah,
but
that entire scene with the when they had Grogu in the bag and those two guys were just sitting there was one of the most glorious scenes of all Star Wars. Hi, Evie. My cat decided to get on the desk, and it we could talk for a week about that all over. Cattail. My cat decided to say hi. Okay, no keyboard for you. All right, you go. So yeah. Really? So yeah,
I was like, Kitty's gonna make a guest appearance, and
yep, there she is. She says hi, and she's all.
There's the secret member.
Yeah, Evil Lynn, my kitty of glory. She got me off of Star Wars. She's like, he's getting too into Star Wars. But yeah, so Dark Forces, amazing. amazing game. Love it so much. It did so much stuff. You had all these force powers in the end. After a certain point, you just stopped using your guns because once you have the lightsaber out, when they start shooting at you, after up to a certain point, when you get to a certain Jedi level, once you start your lightsaber skills improve, and it gets to a point where as long as your lightsaber's out, you're pointed at the guy, they can't hit you for shit. He'll always reflect it back at them, and then okay, I'll let you back down. Just don't get on the keyboard. And so, like, between that, your force powers, and all these abilities you had, why switch to a gun? And so basically, it went from an epic first person shooter, that was basically Duke Nukem with Star Wars. It turned into this amazing third person action with RPG elements and leveling and stuff that was Dark Forces, and then so many games afterwards just became that. I mean, hell, what do you think Fallen Order was based off of? It's supposed to be a spiritual successor to that series.
Was wondering about that.
Yeah, it's basically if Dark Forces met freaking Dark Souls. It's like Star Wars, Dark Souls 2, Jedi Fallen Order. That's the it tells me that whenever I play this game, when I play that game, I saw that, except in that game you only had the lightsaber, you didn't have a gun, which I felt was a waste. You should have a blaster, even though technically it makes sense because I never used it when I had it. But just to say you had it, just to be like, hold on, I gotta fix my camera by moving. There you go. Just to say you had it, by fake having it, that would be amazing. Oh god, Evie.
But you would never use it anyways.
Yeah, but you should have the choice not to use it. That's what I'm
Who
saying.
doesn't use their blaster? Come on, everybody uses their
Use a
blaster.
blaster if you have a lightsaber.
It's such an archaic
Because it can
weapon.
transform, mofo. It can transform.
Oh, ha ha!
Transformers.
Not wrong blaster.
Yeah.
This isn't a boom box. But So it was a great game. My only real problem with the game, the only thing that I could say is no, is the controls yet again, which is a product of the '90s for PC games, really.
Yeah, strafing was a bit of a.
It was.
Yeah, there was no strafing back then.
Not just that, but there was a lot of things that were really needed. It was really hard to really hard to do a lot of things. But then again, unlike a lot of games back then, the controls were completely remappable. So you if you knew how to, if you took the painstaking time to make the adjustments, you could give it proper full WASD control, and it was awesome, and it was great, and I loved it. But yeah, I digress.
Also, they had the legit Williams score on there too.
Oh yeah, no, you shoot enough people, you heard the when they fell.
Yeah, the Wilhelm.
The Wilhelm scream. That's it. Yeah. Ah!
He may not make it into games today, but that just goes to show you how classic that sound effect really is.
And words. And also just want to point out, graphically, it's ugly as fuck. But then again,
it's really not that bad for when it came out.
For 8-bit
game.
I still think it looks cool.
Yeah,
I still think it looks cool.
For 23 years old, it looks amazing. But try to compare it to any of the games now, no.
No.
I don't recall if it was old enough to not have actual level aiming.
Oh,
I think it didn't. It didn't.
Full control of the mouse. It had full control of the mouse.
Did it?
Yeah.
So you could shoot people on multiple levels?
Yeah, and
height?
That was the whole thing. You have to look up to shoot people. You have to move the mouse around.
Oh, okay.
It had full control for that. But it was one of the first games that did that, so it was very difficult to do.
Yeah, I couldn't remember because a few games had quite a hard time just having your character actually aim up. I mean, most could look up, but they couldn't shoot up. They would shoot ahead of you, but the dude on top would still get hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was very hard to
because
look up
because
in most person
oh
shooters.
no, Evie, don't eat that. That's your fur. Um, actually, okay, there's actually a whole thing to it because technically what we saw and what was happening were two separate things in those kinds of games. Where the game was actually a top down like a top down like map thing where basically the code of the game understands that what you see is like a 2D plane and everything happens on this 2D plane, but there is a second graphical overlay on top of that showing the actions in first person. That's how Doom and Wolfenstein were run.
Yeah.
Ah,
I saw a documentary on this. I think there were a few articles I read as well. But yeah, there was things on this on why it was like this and why it was amazing and all that good stuff. But yeah, Evie, you guys keep moving on me. You were still doing stuff.
The cat stealing the show.
Yeah, no, she's stealing my attention. That's what I get for having a cat. Ooh,
yes,
you
yeah.
cutie.
It's been so long since I've played Wolfenstein or Doom. I don't even remember if you can look up and down.
No, you can't.
I know you can look up and down.
One of the
Didn't you have to use like the page up and page down buttons?
yeah.
no,
But
those you could map
you
your mouse to
couldn't
that.
aim with it.
No,
Did you remember?
the
Really?
first game to have full motion aiming and all that stuff was Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem
Yeah.
3D.
Duke Nukem, yeah.
That was the first game to do it, which is why a lot of games back in the day.
But you still had to hold control the strafe.
Yeah, and in
Ugh.
and the first Dark Forces actually had that same problem where it was like you had to use like page up, page down to look around to shoot. You couldn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, the first one had that. The second one didn't. It had that full thing, and then it didn't even matter because after that point, you turned into a Jedi. Yes. Da 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 da.
So could you throw your lightsaber
Yes, that
or
was one
use
move.
force push
Yes,
and stuff like that?
and pull, and if you went dark side, you could choke a bitch. If you went light side,
So how come
Or
only
you
the
want to
dark
shoot
side gets to choke people?
because that's an evil thing to do apparently.
I don't
Choking
know.
bitches is bad.
Well,
What? We psh, nah.
you can't.
I hear some of them. No, I'm joking.
You can't use the force to murder people. It's a rule. If you do that, you're a bad guy. It's a rule.
Ah, I guess I would be unintentionally bad then.
Yeah, you would totally.
Yeah, but you don't want to use it to like kill people.
I would be probably in the middle somewhere. I'd be like Sam Jackson and just be on the purple side.
The purple.
Yeah, and like
The one and only purple lightsaber.
yes, in lore they created this whole thing about how it was like his his kyber crystal was super rare or some shit, and that how like by using it like he has it because he was once tempted by the dark side, but then went into the light and shit like that. But the real truth of it
It makes sense. He did not swear as a Jedi, but I suppose when he was tempted by the dark side, he started swearing.
Yeah.
But then like the real truth of it is that when George Lucas asked him if he wanted a green or blue lightsaber, he said no, I want a purple. I want a purple lightsaber. And they're like, all right, fine.
Yeah, he wanted purely purple, so in a fight scene, he could always find himself.
Yeah.
And they were like, we'll think about it. Okay.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: that's the reason why the green lightsabers exist because it was going to be the first time they ever showed a lightsaber outside when they were doing the fight in Jabba's sail barge.
Oh yeah, you couldn't see. You couldn't see blue.
And blue would be a lot harder to see. So what they decided on was instead of making a blue lightsaber, they would make it green so that you could see it easier and it'd be easier to get it to bounce it off the everything around them. And yeah, and then they decided to turn it into a whole thing where blue is for the Jedi who were not warriors but the fighter Jedis, the warrior Jedis, they had the green lightsaber. And it was There's a whole thing to this.
And this just turned into trivia.
Yeah, or I think it was the other way around. I don't know. Yeah, well, I'm a man of trivia.
Yeah, one of them was for the Warriors, and the other one was for the
I don't
what
know.
was the other kind
I,
of Jedi?
I don't remember all of them. What I do remember though is that they got Knights of the Old Republic was where they basically just hammered down home all the things about this, like all the different rules.
Yeah.
Like about it, like okay, so which color lightsaber do you want? And these were all the different what all the different colors mean, and that was kind of like the whole what's it like what it is, and
Yeah.
which I think also was like which is awesome in its own way. I love it when they do lore building in this. I hate it when they
Yeah.
just decide not to. When they say to stop.
Because you have to be able to explain it. Like people love this, so you like just create more lore for us.
Yes, the lore is good. The lore is great. We surrender our wills as of this date. Wow,
Exactly.
let's talk a little more about Star Wars than the actual game. But yeah, like honestly, I think
Plenty about it. It's impossible to talk about a Star Wars game and not talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, not even gotten into like and you know what? And this is the fun fact is I picked this game out of like 6 Star Wars games I could have picked. Because like there was the entire of all the flight sim games, X-wing, TIE Fighter, X-wing versus TIE Fighter, the Alliance.
What? Why is the Star Wars Fighter on PS1 not on your list? I can mentally visualize your list not having it. Why?
Because I played it on the PC.
Well, PSX is almost like a PC.
No, it is not.
It's missing 2 letters.
Control the joystick, dude. You use the joystick. You're all like da 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 da, and then like pew pew pew. Like if you're like pew pew, that's this going pew pew is not as fun as going pew pew. That's like a rule. You have to pew pew,
Agree.
not pew pew. This isn't a pew button. This is.
Pew button.
Pew button.
and that's just how it is, man. Pew pew. All right, but yeah,
Pew pew.
I love which is one of the main reasons why I love those games. And yes, I played the new one that came out. It does so much to be the old game. I love it, and then I hated it because then I realized that the people I was playing with at that point were like way too into it. Like for the first few weeks when I played the multiplayer, I'm like, yeah, I'm a Star Wars, and like it was awesome. And then it got to the point where I'm like, time to
Wears off.
Sorry?
It just wears off after a while, and everybody else is still into it.
The people who are still into it are gods. We're like, I'm a
it's like it's like any game for people who can play quite a few years. Like
you go in
Battlefront. I mean, just like God, that community is so large. Oh, it's crazy.
Everyone's a master. You try to get into that shit, you die all the time.
Yeah,
so, but it's fun. It's fun dying. It's really good. Fun. It's good healthy dying.
It's not in this where you're like, I'm gonna go shoot a guy, and then the moment before you can even get a target lock with a missile or like even see the enemy, like you just see your shields just whittle to nothing, and you explode. You're like, how the hell? And then you try to do maneuvers.
I should definitely see about purchasing the OG Battlefront because I know I've seen it on Steam, but I wonder if there's still private.
It was on special.
I
wonder if there's private servers still running all the PvP stuff.
There is. They do exist, and I'm pretty sure it's also on GOG. Like, just go to GOG, guys, or Humble Bundle. Use my link.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sad, but yeah. So blah blah blah. Words I'm trying to say, but yeah, no, that's. Star Wars in general, amazing game. This is the epitome of it, and that's why I picked it. And I was actually really upset. It was actually one of the things that really upset me, but only in like a personal level, that they never put this character in as an actual they brought in a whole bunch of extended universe stuff when they were making other like Star Wars stuff from for Mandalorian and all that stuff like vibroblades and stuff like that was like extended universe. They brought that from Knights of the Old Republic. They never did that. Like, I was thinking to myself, they could just easily brought in Kyle. Bring Kyle in. Give us just this rogue.
Kyle
Jedi
is the guy from the N64 game, right?
No, that was Dash Rendar or Dash.
Oh my God! Yeah. All right. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And technically, he wasn't from the game. He was from the book because it was originally a book.
Yeah, exactly. But the books are still canon.
No, they're not. They
What? What are you talking about?
Not anymore. The books, all the books.
Not anymore?
No.
Oh, that sucks.
After Disney bought them and then started the new like sequel series, which honest to God, I feel like is the only thing that is hurting Star Wars now is any connection. Anything that involves those three movies is toxic. Anything that isn't, anything prequel or modern related is gold. And like not just the movies themselves, but all the media attached to it. We'll get into that a little bit later too. Actually, you know what? No, stopping this. I have to stop this because, honest to God, this is not a Star Wars conversation. This is a video game conversation. We will do Star Wars another day.
I was looking down at the like timer like 10 minutes ago, and I was like, let's just see.
Let's see
right.
how long can we talk about Star Wars.
Another one of the thing. I can do days. If we want to have a 12-hour stream, it'll be on Star Wars. I haven't even got into my Darth Jar Jar fan theory. Yes, I have a theory about Jar Jar Binks being the Dark Lord of the Sith. And
actually, I think quite a bit of the community has either that or I've passed by some fan fiction back in the day.
There have been like honest to God, I was okay. I wasn't the first one to say it, but I did come to that conclusion by myself, and I did see the theories on top of it, and I truly deep down hold them to be true. They are true to me, but we will talk about that another week.
Let's just all agree to end it on the fact that Jar Jar is probably an illegitimate son of Qui-Gon Jinn. That's how we are going to end it.
You know what? Normally I'd fight you on this, but I agree, 100%. Like normally this would be like the part where I start screaming at you as to why you're wrong and get so mad that my eyes start to like bulge. But no, I think you're right on this. Like it makes more sense.
It makes more sense.
It makes more sense. If he is the mentally handicapped, illegitimate son of Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So I think it's all.
So I guess my kitty will actually do my send out because he's already telling me like, hey man, how come you're not even getting ready for bed?
Because.
But yeah, so I guess we'll put everything out as we normally have it. So be sure to subscribe, like, and participate in all the extra media that we have, like the Twitter. Actually, you know what? I'm not really good at doing the like send off.
Yeah. All right. So I guess I shall.
Yeah, I'll let you rein them in.
All right. So this will be our wrap up for tonight. I thank you very much for watching. Please follow the links down below for my Twitter, my Twitch, and all that extra shit that I'm trying to get you guys to pay me money for. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, seriously, if you haven't liked it already, do the like. It actually does help us. It makes us more seen, and we are trying to make a thing out of this. I would be super appreciated if I see those likes go up. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. We are doing this as a weekly podcast every Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like as you can see, we're getting better and better at this content. We're gonna have more Vexed. We're gonna have more Belize. It's gonna be like we may even have extra guests coming in. Oh, also one more thing, I'm gonna put up into the chat before we go, just because I just remembered this now, and I think it's good. I mean, like, I doubt anyone's going to be watching right now, but I'm also going to put this in the description after the fact. I created a system, I created a thing for a form to get people. I created a form to get people to actually, like, to get, for when we actually have ideas of what we want to play, or like, sort of play, we want to, like, do as a podcast ideas and whatnot. And honestly, I could actually put it out there for everyone. So I'm creating a URL right now. And let's go into, where is my brain? You. And boom. If you guys have the time, fill out that form. Tell us what kind of podcast you would like us to do, what kind of topics you'd like us to do, and say who from our team you'd like to be in it, all that good stuff, and we'll be able to take that information and use that for the forces of evil, evil laugh. And yeah, I think that covers everything. Like, comment, subscribe. Eugene. We'll be here. We'll be back again next Friday. Keep an eye out. And I have been the Tech Support Ninja.
And I've been Belize Boy.
And I have been Vexed Hulk.
Beautiful. I looked the wrong direction, all of them. Thank you guys very. Thank you guys very much. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Not yet. I'm pressing the button.